Well, it's Friday, and I'm DrFlux, so you know what that means. It is time for Flux Friday. In today's episode, we have some really cool stuff to talk about. We have a few new blasters to talk about. We have the upcoming blaster from Dartzone, the new Dartzone Pro Mark III. We have another blaster from a very controversial company, dare I say MILSIG. I also have some great news to let you all know that I was able to get a hold of a SHELBY destroyer, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Also, it is Bungie's 30-year anniversary coming up, so there is going to be a partnership with Nerf, and there is an epic gun from the Destiny universe that will be making its way into the real universe via a collaboration between Nerf or Hasbro and Bungie, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And to wrap up, we're going to do some community engagement, which we're going to kind of go over a poll, which I ran, to see what the community feels about a certain topic. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
It's Flux Friday, the best update show in the hobby, brought to you and hosted by DrFlux.
I know this is not cutting edge news, but it is still exciting and I wanted to spend a moment to talk about it. We have the new Dartzone Pro Mark III. Why is this so amazing? Because this is the first time that we see a Pro line release a flywheeler. So this flywheeler is special because it actually goes from semi-auto, so one shot, over to full auto. So, you know, full auto mag dump type of stuff. So that is really cool. Very excited to see that. Really wish it had burst, but you know, this is definitely a good step in the right direction. They could have just done a strife. They could have just did a, well, here's your semi-auto pro line, and then we'd have to wait for the full auto. So at least we're getting it right off the bat. Anyone who watches my channel will know I'm a huge fan of flywheelers, so this is just great news because I love the aesthetics and the ergo of the Dartzone Pro models. They are just phenomenal in my opinion, and I'm very excited to see a pro flywheeler. There's a little bit of speculation as to how the performance really will be. We do know that it shoots both full darts and half darts, which is very interesting to me, that how that pusher is gonna work. You know, how is it gonna engage either type of magazine? So just that technology is really exciting. Can't wait to see what they do. The next blaster we're going to talk about is from a company that has been a little controversial in the hobby. This is MILSIG. Now MILSIG, when it first came out, many people were just kind of taken back by how crazy these blasters look. And what I'm saying is, like, they look like straight up real steel, which to some people is amazing. You know, people who do private events and play on, you know, their own fields and basically are in more of an airsoft environment. The MILSIG was like, okay, whatever. But at the same time, the biggest issue that I have with it is that if you have a high performance blaster at a certain price point and it doesn't perform the way it should, well, that's a whole nother issue. Yes, I understand that the MILSIG looks very milsim, but in the end, that can be addressed with body kits and paint, and you know, you can make it not so threatening looking. However, if you're going to be spending, you know, $400 for a Nerf blaster and it doesn't perform as well as my modded Strife or my modded out Rapid Strike, that's a big problem. Multiple content creators that received the MILSIG across the hobby pretty much said similar things. It wasn't as accurate as it should be. And maybe with some fine tuning and extra work, it could get to that level, but that's the problem. If you're gonna buy something for that price point, it better be good out of the box. So the issue is, you can go out and grab a Springer or a flywheeler and dump that much money into it and get way better performance, and that's the problem. But MILSIG is back at it, and this time they're bringing us a pistol. The first thing I want to say is the compressed cartridge goes into the magazine, which is innovative. I do think that's pretty cool that they did that. The other thing that pops in my head though is, so each magazine that fires, you know, 10 or however many shots, I'm gonna have to put another cartridge in there. That's a lot of waste in one Nerf war. So I don't know about that, but it is cool if it works well. The other thing is, as you can see, this thing's shooting the 50 caliber paintballs. And the video, if you watch it, I don't have audio on just so I don't get flagged for copyright, but when the balls hit the table, they sound like paintballs. They don't sound like foam. So I'm a little curious as to whether or not this is actually just hey, we made a paintball marker or a marker, and essentially where you can shove your 50 caliber, you know, foam darts in there, and hey, look, we made a thing for Nerf too. Now, I think it's more of an afterthought, especially because it's just one dart shoved in the front of the breech. So it's a front loading Nerf blaster, which, I mean, what is this? It's like a CO2 powered night finder. I mean, not too attractive in my opinion. Now, if it was something that looked more like a gecko and had that power system in there and you could put in a Talon mag and fire off a bunch of shots, cool. But front loading and I have to deal with CO2 cartridges, I'm not sure. I'm not sold on it. Much like the Rect line, I don't know if this one's gonna be good, so we'll have to see. Now, one last thing to say on it is there is no barrel. Like, you're putting it right in and it's firing right out. So I don't see the use of a SCAR barrel. I don't see the use of any rifling or anything to help get that thing to be more accurate. So in the end, you know, you're just having a high-powered night finder, essentially. I mean, I don't know. I can almost guarantee the price point of this is not going to be dirt cheap. So I'm curious to see how this thing unfolds, but for now, I just wanted to let everyone know this thing exists. And now for some exciting news for the channel. We have acquired a SHELBY destroyer. The SHELBY destroyer is super amazing because this is a disc launcher, and we have not seen such awesomeness since, you know, the Vortex line. And even with Vortex, we only had one flywheel blaster from Vortex, which was the Nitron, which I highly recommend rewiring on 3S because it's amazing. Now this blaster, the SHELBY destroyer, is just packed with features. It is a bit spendy, but I was fortunate enough to grab in at it was like 35 or 40% off. This is a crowdfunding blaster, and I was able to swoop in very, very early and get like a pretty hefty discount on it. So really excited that I was able to do that. And I know it's gonna take a while to get it, but it's still an amazing blaster to look at, and I can't wait to review it and show all of you how cool the SHELBY destroyer is. And for some more exciting news, Bungie has a 30-year anniversary. And to celebrate this, they're doing a ton of stuff, but something that affects our hobby is they are partnering with Nerf.
We've partnered with Nerf Limited to create a functional dart-firing Gjallarhorn.
And they're gonna bring forth the Gjallarhorn, which is a massive, crazy rocket launcher thing that I believe it shoots out like it shoots out a rocket, has multiple projectiles. It is just it is an epic blaster. And to see this thing as a Nerf blaster is gonna be awesome. There's no word on when this is actually coming out. This news was released in Bungie's live stream that they conducted a few days ago. And essentially all we have is just some in-game shots of what the actual rocket launcher looking thing looks like. So we can only imagine what Nerf will do. I really hope that they don't just do something silly like make it a Strife or I don't know. It could be one of those things like they're waiting for Mega XL to come out, because this would be a good use of Mega XL in my opinion. I really hope it's not just the Demolisher rockets, because I don't really like those. I don't have much luck with them, especially the new ones. I hear the new ones aren't as accurate as the old ones were. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I'm still very excited. I'm sure the blaster will be beautiful. It will probably be extremely expensive. So it's one of those, because it is gonna be an exclusive, you know, Hasbro release that pretty much isn't gonna go into stores. You're just gonna be able to, they're basically gonna have a opportunity for people to order them, and then they're gonna go and basically fulfill it. So probably they're gonna go manufacture as many as they pretty much received in their orders. So limited edition, super cool. If you're a fan of Destiny, this is kind of a must-have, must get it kind of thing. If you're, you know, if you play Destiny and you love Nerf, like it's a no-brainer. Today's community engagement is going to be about how do you like your reloads? Now I ended up having to run 2 polls on this because the first one was a little bit indecisive because essentially I put mags and clips. So in this survey, we basically had an overwhelming 71% of people said, yeah, give me a clip or a mag. That's how I want to reload. And that's not too surprising, but I thought it wouldn't be that high. That's a pretty hefty amount of people so that was over 3,000 people that believe that, you know, reload should happen via mag. And then after that, there's a lot of people that believe drums are the way to go. In this particular survey is over 10% of people believe that drums are the best way. Then we have, you know, inline clips, hoppers, and the last one is unremovable. So basically you just want something that sets in place, you just feed it in, don't have to worry about carrying extra mags and stuff. You just have a dump pouch filled with darts and just throw them in. And that was about 6% of people would prefer that method. So I figured I'd rerun this entire thing again. This time I just dropped off the mags and clips because I know everyone wants mags and clips, but so on this time around we did chains, which was 12% of people, and this was out of over a couple thousand people voted on this one. The next section was removable cylinders and drums, which was an overwhelmingly over half of all people. So 53% of people would say, yeah, I'll just take a drum. Thank you very much. And then 6% of people said, yeah, I just want a drum that doesn't come out, or a cylinder that I can just reload on the fly. 17% of people say hoppers. You know, hoppers are the way to go, which I thought that number would be higher. You know, I thought people liked the idea of just grabbing ammo and throwing it in something and just going to town. But it was only 17%. And the last section was inline clips, which had a 12%. So in the end, I hope this information is helpful to somebody. But if you're looking to design a blaster that you want to sell a bunch of, maybe it won't be something super unique, but if you want to sell a bunch of it, choose one that takes clips or mags. In particular, you got your standard elite adapters type of magazine or clip that basically the elite one that Nerf sells. And then of course, if you're doing short darts, I highly recommend doing talons. Talons seem to be the standard in this day and age. Well, I'm DrFlux. I want to thank you for watching today's Flux Friday. Let me know in the comment section if any of this news is exciting for you. Is this something that you look forward to? Also, I want to note that Flux Friday is here to stay for a bit. I do enjoy making the show, and it kind of helps wind down for the week. And I like it. Once again, I want to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, happy foam flinging.